Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our second series of the day here. CDEC up against Hyper Glory Team. Let's head over straight to the draft. They've already begun. Find out what we're dealing with and see what the teams are up to. Because CDEC right now are sitting at 5-5. They've had a pretty good run of form, while HGT, I believe, are 2-6. You know, they're looking at the bottom of the table, well, close to the bottom of the table right now with Newbie and VGP, so they definitely need some wins under their belt. Let's see if they can get them up against CDEC. Joining me today again is Slash. How are you doing?
Doing quite well. Let's see if CDEC can keep up their good form overall. And HGT, they really need a 2-0 win here if they want to have any chances of progressing.
Yeah.
While CDEC, of course, I mean, they're currently middle of the table. They want to give themselves some breathing space. So a draw wouldn't really help either team. Both of them, I'm pretty sure, really want to go for the win here. And CDEC, once again, with the Queen of Pain first pick. It's something that they did against eHome as well, with one game Aggressive playing the Queen of Pain, the other game Shiki as well. So they have two players who are both very proficient at the hero. Hyper Glory Team instantly respond with a Lion pick. No big surprises here. One of the best counters to those elusive heroes. And Clockwork Goblin as well is something that one of the best heroes that I see really likes to play. And with the third pick, Phoenix pretty much already means that they are going to run a support Phoenix here.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I was just looking at that and thinking, well, you know, with Chen in the jungle, that means that the safe lane is going to be a little bit weak here from CDEC. But with the Queen of Pain, the fact you said that Shiki played it one game, Aggressive played the other, they do have the capabilities to move it mid, to move it safe lane. We've even seen Chinese and Southeast Asian teams have the Queen of Pain off lane, which is something that could happen here. But CDEC, they've got a bunch of players that can move around. They've got people who can play in multiple roles. I just want to flag Garda right now as being one of the best, I don't want to say the best player, but definitely one of the standout players right now in D2CL. He has had some amazing performances on supports. We saw him the other day on Skywrath, and he was like 10, 2, and 12 or something. He was basically a two-role Skywrath coming from the 5 position. He started off as the hard support, and he was getting kills everywhere.
Yeah, the game before that, he played the Dazzle, which was also rather true to the hero's name, a rather dazzling performance overall. That was really, really well done overall. Of course, some things can be said, and eHome, they weren't playing with a full roster. Lanham wasn't playing, so maybe there's a bit of coordination issues. But still, CDEC, they come out strong, and overall, they really like the Chen as well. They sometimes just use the hero and then start going for those aggressive pushes. And maybe we'll even see the return of the Night Stalker the other day. Yeah?
That's definitely a possibility. Oh, what happened there? Funky things going on. But HGT, they ban out the Broodmother and Juggernaut. Don't want CDEC getting their hands on that Brood. We've seen what XZ can do with that little bad boy.
Yeah.
Going Dagon and killing Bristlebacks and nonsense like that. So CDEC, they go with the zoning support and the Skywrath Mage, while Chen will be working his way through that jungle. But neither team really giving away where they're going to be going with their main heroes.
Not yet, yes. But I mean, HGT is now, with the Skywrath pickup from CDEC, pretty sure they're not going to send him offlane now. I mean, before that, you could consider, we saw how well Phoenix does against Chen tri lanes. We're only 2.5 lanes, but against Skywrath, it's a completely different story. So yeah. It's most likely going to be Clockwork offlane, Phoenix support with Line. And HGT, they go for the Razor. It's a hero that has seen a bit more play recently, but mostly as a counter to the Bristleback. So I'm wondering, maybe it's because they thought CDEC will pick the hero up?
Not too sure. Now, I'm looking at this, and it feels like more of an air hero. They're giving him Shadow Fiend and these heroes that like to build up stats and get a decent early start, get him snowballing. It feels like that's really necessary for air's mid-roll. ZSMJ, they've been throwing Anti-Mage there into the mix, but more often than not, pretty farm-heavy, intensive heroes for that guy.
Yeah, he's playing a lot of Juggernaut, though, but it's banned out this time. Razor also, as you said, it's an air hero, really. It's a hero that he popularized, in fact, and he used to play the hero a lot. Overall, pretty good pick against Skywrath, since the passive triggers and every single arcane bolt that Skywrath throws at him, which is really, really annoying. He can also go to the safe lane and then lane solo one-on-one against a Tidehunter. It's one of those matchups that Tidehunter dreads, facing up against the Razor. So it's definitely flexible, but more likely than not, it's going to be in the mid lane played by Air.
Yeah. Slug banned out by HGT. 5th ban here from CDEC. Do you ban Medusa? It feels like...
I would. Let's be honest, I would.
That's the thing. Like, it's not just because you're against ZSMJ. It's just that hero that is going to stop you in your tracks. You want to be mobile. You've got Queen of Pain Chen, who like to run into fights and have their little minions and everything else. You know, doing their job, but what do they have to stop her early on in the game?
They don't really, and it's really hard to push high ground against Medusa, but they banned the Nakes instead. Or maybe thinking the Nakes bomb with Clockwork Goblin is too lethal in the early game. CDEC, I mean, they could, in theory, pick the Medusa themselves, though that would be really against what we've seen so far from them. They mostly run those early game lineups, so I would be very surprised if they fall back to the Medusa. On the other hand, Morphling would be something that I could see them play. It's a hero that can also fight rather well in the early stages. But let's see. I mean, HGT... What could they, in theory, still pick? I mean, their draft doesn't exactly excel at anything in particular so far, so it might just be a stalling draft, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Their draft so far seems tanky and very good at drawing out team fights. You know, they can defend high ground decently, they've got okay pick-off potential with Hookshot, Finger of Death. Maybe they want something to amplify that, but no. No, if they go for the AM I mentioned earlier for ZSMJ, that seems okay. You're not impressed?
With the anti-mage?
Yeah.
No, I'm not surprised that they picked it up,
no.
Honestly. It's just, I'm not a, let's say, anti-mage still, out of all the hard carries, I'd rather see him, really, because Medusa would be a bit boring to watch, in my opinion, but the CDEC, they're probably not going to pick the Medusa anyway. Also, against AM is kind of a bad matchup. But Morphling would be kind of the classic battle of the old carries.
Morphling against AM.
Yeah, Morphling AM, that used to be like the thing.
Like Spectre doesn't really work here against Razor and Anti-Mage. You don't want to go something, like you said, they've got early game potential here. You don't want to limit that early game by going for a plan B that basically ruins any tower push that you've got. So Festus Void, he gives you plan B, with the fact you can fall back a little bit on his farm. Very good against the Anti-Mage with the Chronosphere. You can lock him down and find those 1v1 kills. But also, great setup for the Scarth Mystic Flare, Queen of Pain Sonic Wave, and maybe even the Tidehunter Ravage if the Tide is a bit slow.
Karka on the Phoenix, so yeah, that's definitely going to be a support Phoenix. And Icy on his Clockwork, no big surprise here, pretty hoarding, which leaves him on the line. Air on the Razor, of course, and going to go mid lane. Although it's one of those matchups that Queen of Pain actually wins. It's not something that Razor wins rather handily. I mean, you can win, but I think it's Queen of Pain favored overall. ZSMJ anti-match, kind of no big surprise here. Garda once again on the Skyward. Let's see if he can keep it up with his standard performances so far in the D2CL. XZ on the offlane Tidehunter, aggressive, probably safe lane Void most likely since they have a Chen after all. And that's going to be Q on the Chen.
Well, let's see where they're headed. 5-man up to the top lane as they're going to go into the Dire jungle and try and get some wards down up against this Chen. No surprise really there. How many sentries have got? One observer. One set of sentries, okay. So they've got some sentries. They'll place one deep observer ward for the Clockwork most likely, just to spot out movements from the Scarth Mage, because he's going to be the main annoyance there. We talked about why Phoenix doesn't really want to go up against the Scarth. The Ancient Seal and Arcane Bolt does really limit his laning potential. But Icy isn't going to have a good time either.
Nobody has a good time against
exactly.
offlanes.
I think there are very few heroes that can do well against the Scarth just constantly harassing you.
Well, they're going to have Shiki in front, just spotting the movement from HGT CDEC though. They have 180 gold saved up on the Chen, but no sentries in their inventories just yet. So one sentry to block out the big camp, another one doesn't actually block anything, but it does spot out a large part of the jungle. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of common to put the sentry ward onto the big camp, since it's most of the time it's the first camp that gets dewarded anyway, so it might not be worth to place an observer ward there.
So Chen with the one clarity and then tangos. He's bought all the support items. He's got the courier, got the observer wards out for the rest of his team. But this has limited him quite a lot.
Indeed, I mean, it's enabling Skyrise to start with boots first, which is nice and everything. Looks like HGT are going to want the dual offlane. It's something that we've seen quite a lot there from LGD with the dual offlane Phoenix.
So 2 heroes that should have a bad time against Skyrise, going to turn it back around on him, throw those fire spirits down, but also limit the farm of the Faceless Void. So yeah, this dual lane with the Phoenix is going to work wonders for them here. Razor, played by Air at mid up against Shiki on the Queen of Pain. Now, you mentioned this matchup favors the co-op, and I'd agree, but it's kind of like that Sniper versus Storm matchup, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It can go the other way. It just depends on minor mistakes. If minor mistakes are made, then things can turn around, you know? Air will most likely go for the max plasma field build, rather than going max static link. Get 1 early in unstable. Oh my, that's actually quite a tongue twister. Get 1
Unstable
early
current?
in unstable unstable current. Oh my god, why is that so difficult to say? But that's pretty damn good against Shadow Strike. And
Yeah.
then you can look to maybe hold high ground with your ranged attacks.
Mm-hmm. Also, I think HGT's decision to go run the dual offlane is similar to what EHOM did against IG last game. It's a good decision since 2-on-2, Phoenix by himself is already a really powerful laner, but having another hero to back him up makes it even easier. So they should be able to limit the farm of the Faceless Void. Meanwhile, Chen is currently blocking a little bit, but he's got enough gold now to buy sentries, but he might rotate to the enemy jungle by the look of things.
No. That's going to be way too risky. I'm just looking at ZSMJ. He's got the Observer Ward, placing that down just to give vision of that lane a little bit. But he's got a Stout Shield. Up against the 1v1 Tidehunter, so often we see the Quelling Blade. Anchor Smash is really annoying. You're not going to take too much right-click harass. Maybe he's banking on pretty hard, you know, stacking, pulling through, pulling the creep wave back, so he has to tank up that creep wave a little bit. Q does go into the enemy jungle. So aggressive Chen here.
It's not been spotted either, by the way. They don't know that he's there. But they couldn't suspect it since the observer in the enemy jungle is not seeing anything.
Where's the Chen? Where is the Chen? He's got a Dark Troll. He's heading over towards the lane now. The Radiant Observer Ward will spot him out as soon as he reaches this point here.
Pretty low though.
Could they find First Blood here? They've seen him. The Gosh leveled very early there. This is a First Blood. Pretty Hawk getting right click down. The Tidehunter. And that big old anchor.
I'm pretty sure that Lion was not expecting that at all. I mean, he might have suspected the Chen there, but it was a bit unfortunate. He was out of position. The lane was really far up, and he took a lot of damage from the Titan before that. XZ very wisely holding his skill points and then suddenly leveling up. The Gush Clarity getting cancelled by ZSMJ once again, but I don't think XZ is going to be too concerned with it. It just means that he can't use Anchor Smash really, but at the same time ZSMJ pretty much does no right click damage to him either. So he can just keep trading. I mean, just look at it. The Tide is just smacking the AM around.
Okay, you're gonna drain my mana. Well, screw you. I'm gonna right click you in the face. So last hit was, Tidehunter is actually 6 for 1.
Pretty hard. Well, once again, taking a lot of damage. The net's been used though, but
Hasted.
Q is hasted. Oh god, that's so
Minimum
unfortunate.
damage from Test of Faith. He's still gonna die though. Still gonna die. 2 kills going the way of CDEC very early on in this game. Up against the Lion down a bot lane. Not only are these great kills to get, gold in your pocket, but you're stopping the AM from farming freely. I was just mentioning, he's 5 for 2, having to last it under tower now. He's got the Quelling Blade, sure enough. Garda, top lane. Icy,
He's got boots, he's fine.
Yeah. I thought maybe with the battery salt boots on Icy, they'd be able to catch up to him, slow him down, but the concussive shot proving to be just a little bit too much. As aggressive now, jumping back in, caught in the cogs. He's going to get pushed back, no mana, limited HP, still fighting. Poor man shield, still fighting, going through.
He was hoping for the lucky bash there. I mean, he's got level 2 in it after all.
Yeah, absolutely. Queen of Pain and Razor battling up evenly here at 11 for 8 against the 10 for 6.
Yeah, overall, I mean, in terms of CS, it should be fairly even, I guess. Air is going to have his bottle coming out, I guess. Yeah, there we are. And Queen of Pain is already bottle crowing. No big surprises here after all. And Q, once again, he's still on bot lane. Does he have net? No mana for net at the moment on the troll. Lion's still gonna be annoyed though. There's very little he can do against the Chen. Chen nearly hitting level 3 as well. You would really like that second creep.
Pulling is hard, pulling through is impossible. So Lion is going to be limited on experience and gold, and controlling their creep equilibrium is nigh on impossible. Mid lane we did see Air go for level 2 in static link and not in the plasma field. Just to try and limit how many right clicks Shiki's doing back to him. Level 1 in the Shadow Strike there for him. But it's pretty even. Shiki only recently taking the last hit advantage. 16 for 8 now, going 5 up on the Razor. But there are still 3 creeps left here of this wave.
Yeah. Kaka getting a bit of a wander run. He tried to contest top rune, but Queen of Pain still managed to get it. Bot lane XZ, I mean, Imper coming out 1 right click from AM, but he just doesn't care. This Tidehunter just bossing up on the AM lane.
There's some J saving up for that Ring of Health so he can maybe survive through the onslaught from Anchor Smash.
Oh, Kaka's gonna get the troll. Yep, there we are. I thought that maybe we're gonna have a deny coming out, but not gonna be the case. So Kaka getting some nice XP there. He's gonna use the dive to get back to the base faster.
It's difficult with the Fire Spirits. Denying with that tomato, you know, he's got slow enough attack speed as it is.
Yeah.
So overall, Void really doing well on this top lane. I thought that he'd get shut down a lot more by the Clockwork and Phoenix, but they've played so aggressively. Garda and Aggressive have been up in the face of Clockwork and actually forcing the Phoenix off lane.
Well, I think one of the main reasons has been Icy has been a bit unfortunate with his cogs. He's always managed to cog the Void in with him instead of burning his mana up. So Void just doesn't care and starts right-clicking, and he wins the right-click battle rather convincingly.
We might be looking at a kill attempt here shortly. Shiki has hit level 6, has the Sonic Wave, and Air with the Wraith Band puts him up to 872 HP, but we'll see what Shiki does with this. With the help of Garda, you know, Ancient Seal, level 2 Arcane Bolt. If Shiki gets some right-click harass, brings Air down to about 750 HP, something along those lines, then they go in for the kill.
Yes.
Top root spot, Shiki turns back around onto Kaka, he's got dive, so he does have that ability to try and escape. Now Air comes in with the plasma field. There's not going to be too much happening here unless Icy goes in onto Q.
Not a good idea, mate.
Double Hellbear Smash to turn back around, trying to get the claps down, but Icy a little bit too quick on his feet.
Yeah. XZ getting Maladin once again, but he's got enough gold to buy his arcane boots now, so I don't think he's gonna run into any mana problems anymore.
Icy chronoed up. The Orb of Venom doing work here, slowing him down in the double bash. Allowing Aggressive to get that 3rd kill up on the board for CDEC, and giving him a really nice boost of gold there. Now he's good enough for
rotating in mid lane.
Yeah, this is where they go. Sonic Wave, Ancient Seal. Do they have enough to kill him? Air turns around and fights. The tower helping him out here, and manages to stem the flow. Oh, Kaka. Diving in, Fire Spirit applied to Garda. It does a lot of damage, but it won't bring him anywhere close to death.
He's just too fast, this Gareth Mage. 375 movement speed at this stage of the game, yeah. Good luck catching up to him.
Net worth-wise, 3,000 up on this Faceless Void. Again, Icy catches Aggressive inside the cogs. I'm wondering if the Chinese caster there is wondering the same thing. It's happened again.
Seems to be. It's happened again, yeah. Chinese casters from LGT TV. Yeah. But the biggest problem is that Void is doing great on the safe lane, and AM really isn't. This Tide is just posturing up in his face, and there's very little that Zelsson can do about it. He's got a Ring of Health to regen his HP back up, but AI is not going to rotate in finally. And they're going to try to kill him. He's got Ravage. Is he going to pop it? Yeah.
Can he escape? Looks like he can. There's no gap closer there. Pops the Ravage defensively, but that's kind of worth it. With the Faceless Void against Anti-Mage, this was something we saw back at... it was TI2 era. Was it TI1 era?
TI1, yeah. TI1 was basically enemy team picks AM, and then you pick Void.
But there was Spectre thrown in there as well. I guess Spectre was banned a lot back then. It was like TI1, TI2, when Anti-Mage was picked, then Void was picked, and it was mainly just to try and keep up with the farm.
Bot lane, Ancient Seal?
Yeah,
it's only level 1 though.
No chance of killing him. Yeah, there are a couple of reasons behind the pick of Void against AM. One, that you'd still go Battle Fury and Void just to try and keep up with the farm of the AM a little bit. With the time walk, you can jump between creep camps and do a decent job there. But the main thing was the chrono. You lock down Anti-Mage, so he can't blink away, he can't be that elusive little bugger jumping between jungle camps, and then you bash him to pieces.
Oh, did you see the interaction there on bot lane?
Was it Kraken Shell getting popped?
No, it was basically Chen was sending the Tidehunter back, so to regen back up. And then Tide just wanted to, harass people before it went back because he gushed the Razor, but then the Razor Purge comes in and then he can't get sent back.
Oh. That's pretty interesting. I didn't realize you could purge that.
Oh, you could, yeah. It's something that you can purge, actually. You can purge Test of Faith.
Interesting. I know there's loads of things that you can purge, but that was not one that I knew.
Oh well, finally. Exceeds though, it just walks back to base, picks up a headdress, in fact. Not going for the early blink, but instead going for the Mac. That's going to alleviate Q, I guess, but he also has a ring of regen in his inventory, so I don't know if that's miscommunication or just going to be used for an early 4-staff, maybe?
Could be a late Vlad's. I'm not too sure. When we see Chen's go Arcane Boots first, 99% of the time, go for mech. Maybe XZ has picked up the headdress and he won't go for mech, just allow the Chen to do it anyway. Concussive shot onto air, not going to catch him out.
Well, it's just going to secure the top rune for Shiki instead. It's still really annoying to kill. It's a Razor after all. And especially for Skywrath, he can't really... His base movement speed is really high, of course, but getting purged the whole time whenever he uses Arcane Ball is not helping.
Hook shot down to bot lane, XZ caught out here by Icy. Anchor smash. Took a while for that to come out as the Fire Spirits will drop him low. Shiki though with a DD. Ravage back off cooldown. ZSMJ caught in this crossfire. As Kaka... I don't know, do you really want to go in here? XZ's dropping low. But there's no follow-up damage from HGT, and the Queen of Pain is standing around with her full arsenal ready to throw down.
He was even considering throwing in the Sonic Wave before to kill the clock, just to make sure that happens. Might give a bottle charge over to XZ, but come on, Shiki, be a nice guy.
Nah, he's got his headdress, it's perfectly fine. The chainmail's picked up, so it will be a mech up on the Tidehunter. Where's Chen? Chen, what are you doing? Do you go straight back into the Aghanims? Do you think about a Vlad's? Full staff you mentioned, I kind of like that. It's usually a luxury 4th or 5th item for a Chen. Just because there's so many aura and regular items that you go for.
It's really good against Clockwork though, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does it.
Very, very true. Aggressive, Mask of Madness, he's running down the bot lane. Intrez on, blink out, get the hell out of here guys. HGT backing up behind their tier 1. They hear the void, they smell him coming. And Aggressive is not going to find an opening.
And there's Garda once again rotating from the back lines though, so they might still go for it. Where's Void? Where are you going? Okay, they go for the smoke up instead.
They've got Mystic Flare.
Yep. I'm going to try to kill the Razor, I think. Although Razor's running towards top rune at the moment to get the 12-minute rune.
So the game has slowed down a little bit here after a few early kills. It's now 0-4, 12 minutes into the game. HGT still have... they still got Anti-Mage. They still got ZSMJ farming away.
We gotta go. Yes, mid lane, there we go.
Finally. Chronosphere down, Mystic Flare lands onto air.
Yeah, no chance at all.
I'm sorry, but where did he go? There's all that's left is a bloodstain next to the Queen of Pain. The Faceless Void is now standing in the remnants of Razor.
Oh, just over a good read there by CDEC, and then Chen loves those kind of things, you kill a core hero and then you can instantly translate it into an objective.
Now XZ at bot lane, Battery Assault is annoying, but the Anchor Smash is even more annoying. Sonic Wave will finish off the Lion, while Tidehunter is still surviving, still fighting through everything. Shiki gonna find a secondary kill here as Phoenix's Egg will finally land and stun up that Quap. They're not gonna find the Queen of Pain for their efforts as Garda, Ancient Seal, it's gonna be coming soon. Oh, is Kaka gonna die? He's gonna try and TP out. The attack damage isn't coming quite fast enough, but the triple kill from the Scream of Pain, the Queen of Pain, doing a lot in that fight.
And just getting enough man. He got a bit annoyed, I think, that his region rune got cancelled by the Fiery Spirit that Kaka threw her just before diving away. But overall, it still worked out fine. Getting enough mana for the last Scream. And ZSMJ can't really go up against the Void. Void's just gonna run at him and start bashing him, right?
Mask of Madness on. ZSMJ, where are you going to go? So the net worth difference there is about 2,000 between the Faceless Void and the Anti-Mage. Then you've got the Queen of Pain, who's sitting on 6.2k as well. Tidehunter has mech nearly completed, 60 gold up until that. While Chen has made a pretty good comeback. 101, 7.5 levels. Well, I say comeback. He hasn't died a bunch of times. He didn't have that rough a start. But he hasn't really found that little place to farm. He hasn't found, you know, any towers to really push into. Tier 1 and Tier 1 mid and top weren't really down to him.
CDEC with Queen of Pain as well as Tidehunter going to try to go for the last hit, even though attack speed was slow. Cheeky does manage to snag it, and that's exactly enough gold for him to buy up his Orchid, which is really going to help against the AM, especially since he's nowhere near a Mantis Star, let alone a, you know, he isn't even close to a Battle Fury. So that's going to be a big threat. Now, normally, you know, it's always a timing thing if you can get the Orchid before he gets Manta. It's Kaka getting slowed up. Mystic Flare, that's going to be enough damage.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Usually we're looking at Battle Fury hitting now. And usually we're seeing Queen of Pains getting shut down a little bit. But 401 on Shiki with 65 last hits. That's I'd like to say that's a relatively fast Orchid.
It is, especially with treads. It's really, really fast.
Average time with treads, you're looking at probably around 19 minutes, 18, 19 minutes, something like that. Like, it is really slow most of the time. Because you die once, and that means that the Orchid's slowed down by, you know, a minute and a half. Then you don't get a couple of kills, slow down even further. 14 and a half minutes in, that's pretty damn good. Chen Army now finding a use, pushing down into this bot tier 2. But yeah, I was going to come back to the tier 1 towers mid and top. You know, sure, Chen was helping out, building up momentum and things like that. But it's just the overall plan from CDEC, finding that one kill that allows you to take the tower. Sure, Chen helps out, but it's mainly been about this Queen of Pain and Skara. But now the Ravage turn around onto Air and Icy. Phoenix does have the Supernova, he's going to have to pop it here. Finger of Death takes down that little Tidehunter as the Chen army going to get stunned up and held back. There's no send back. No test of faith to bring the Chen army back to the Chen.
I mean, that's a nice pick off there. Ravage Force as well. I mean, Ravage Force, Supernova, and the Chen army. That's pretty okay. HGT are going to take that trade, of course. That was just an Invis rune being put to good use there.
While Faceless Void nearly has his BKB completed, Queen of Pain needs to start hunting people down, which he's definitely doing right now. The jump, Chrono, Air, caught out. Mystic Flare from Garter and the scream from Shiki. Do they look for more? There's no blink. There is in a couple of seconds. Shiki, come on. Come on.
He's got a DD rune as well.
Yeah.
He's got to kill the AM. He's got to kill the AM. He should be in time. Although the Observer Ward, is it going to spot him? Not yet. He's kind of moving out of range. He pops the DD rune, ZSMJ.
Yep, he's got him. Sonic Wave, dead. Shiki finds the kill on the AM. How are we looking overall? CDEC? About a 10,000 net worth lead, 17 minutes into the game. I'd say that's not too bad. Pretty damn good. You know, so often we see a 5,000 lead, a 2,000 lead, and when the time comes around when you see a team leading by 7,500, you think, yeah, that's a good strong lead. It's going to take a lot to throw that away. But a 10,000 lead at this point in the game, when you've got an early game lineup, you need it. It isn't something that, you know, comes out of nowhere. They've planned for this. This is the kind of lead they need. These are item progressions that they require over HGT's heroes to actually dominate them this hard.
Yeah. Let's see what Shiki goes for. We've seen him pick up the Shadow Blade quite a lot, and I think it might be a really good choice here, hunting the AM on his own. The AM still doesn't have his Battle Fury in. I think that would be a good timing there if you can get Shadow Blade fast enough.
Air is going straight into that BKB. Null Talisman on Phoenix? I've never seen that before. Do you have a possible reason for that?
I don't know. It's okay. It buffs up his stats a little bit and his mana pool. Maybe he considers going for a Veil of Discord. That would be the only thing I can see. I mean, it would make Finger of Death a lot more strong.
I could understand if he was against Clockwork and Lion. You know, if he was getting his mana drained and he jumps in there with Fire Spirits and can't get Supernova off. But 110 mana, 200 mana, 310 out of 481. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he doesn't have Urn, and that's usually your main mana regen source as a Phoenix. You know, Urn.
Why doesn't he buy it though? I mean, none of the other people in his team's got it. Clockwork Rocket's gonna scout out the Roche attempt from CDEC, but they feel confident. They've got Chrono, they've got Ravage. That's where is the Void though? There you go. He picks up the BKB, and now is probably the time. Shiki blinks back forward. It's gonna pick up the Shadow Blade from the Courier, so indeed it's gonna be the big pick-off item, and look for a kill before they attempt Roshan again.
Shadowblade, Queen of Pain. Anti-Mage is not going to know what hit him. They're jumping through, they're coming in smoke. Aggressive, gets stunned up along with XZ. The blink forward though, pretty hard, going to drop to Shiki. ZSMJ doing his best to run away. Chrono now onto air though. The damn Void just 1 versus 1s this Razor. Allows Chen to take the last hit because Aggressive is a nice guy. Icy now. Cogs, TP. There's no stun burst. Okay, there's a Ravage for the Clockwork. Mystic Flare will finish him off with an Arcane Bolt, sealing the deal. Ravage for
I think they might just take the tower instead of going for Roche, although the creep wave isn't there yet. And Queen of Shiki instantly TP's back there with the Shadow Blade and goes for the kill today. Sonic Wave once again. I've seen this movie before. And it always ends the same way.
And ZSMJ was like 50 gold away from his Battle Fury finishing up. Concussive shot, Karkas, silent stop. He's going to dive back to his original position. But now Garda, with the Arcane Bolts, he gets a solo kill. This is the thing. He knows the limits of his heroes, but he also knows the strengths. Phoenix right now is super weak and susceptible to the Ancient Seal. In fact, you've got level 4 in it. You've got your Staff of Wizardry. You're level 11 now.
And meanwhile, the rest of his team has taken down the big guy. Roshan goes to CDEC. Shiki picks up the Aegis, also great choice, of course. The Queen of Pain, one of the best Aegis carriers overall, and she's got a monster kill streak to her name, so you would rather not have her die.
8-0-2. So how is this lead now for CDEC? We're looking at 10k at 16 minutes or so. It's grown. It's definitely growing. 15k and climbing net worth-wise. Experience, pretty much the same damn story. 2 for 16, 21 minutes into the game. How is HGT's comeback though? If they can rubber band and they get some big items under their belt. That was a hook shot up on top lane. XZ getting caught out by the clock, but not feeling the pain too much. He just stands there and takes the heat from the Fiery Spirits. His Pretty Whore is now on the run from this lonely Tidehunter.
I mean, Garda also TP to his top lane. He's got a completed 4 stuff. Where does this guy always get his farm on the Skywest? He's got earned 4 stuff.
He's 303. Like, he doesn't need last hits. He's there for kills, he gets assists, but he also gets last hits.
Yeah, you can tell by the ward positioning from HGT how this game is going. They've got 3 defensive wards in their own jungle.
I see.
Top lane, I see trapping himself in the cogs there.
Clockwork and Scarlet Mage is a very good combination. Cogs, it's a Mystic Flare. It's just unfortunate when you are the Clockwork and you cogs yourself up.
Yep.
Down a bot though, Aggressive was hexed up off the BKB and cannot get the last right click in there because Q again with the Test of Faith going to take down the Lion.
I don't think he's too concerned with it. Might as well give, spread the love. Give Chen his Agnum so they can push high ground even easier. I mean, they're currently doing a pretty good job though. GG is called.
ZSMJ finishes his Battle Fury and then calls GG.
Yeah. Celebratory Chronosphere. Can they kill air before the game ends? Yes, they can.
Wow. So game number 1 going the way of CDEC, and that was a one-way street if I'd ever seen one.
Yeah, pretty much. The XZ, new feeder, seriously. On Tidehunter, dying 2 times. What are you doing?
Holy crap! 90304020.
XZ, what if he... No, actually, I think he was almost their best player, actually, since his offlane went so well. Like, he was the guy who kind of sacrificed his life for the team, but he did everything that was needed on the offlane. He did everything perfectly fine. And well, I'm most impressed just by CDEC's decision-making. Once again, they know the Chen's jungle is being warded. He goes into the enemy jungle and just wins the offlane for the Tidehunter.
Well, that's a pretty amazing game. Let's see if HGT can come back in game number 2. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.